Hello, I'm the Watch Monster, and in this video we're going to look at a watch by Vesuviate. Now this watch is called the Attivo, and it comes in a number of different variations, and it's a watch that was successfully campaigned through public funding on Kickstarter, and I think it was on Indiegogo as well earlier this year. And at the time, unfortunately, even though I really wanted one, I just didn't really have the budget available to get one. But this week they are doing a big 50% off the price of this watch. So I thought I'd take advantage of that and get one. And within a couple of days it's arrived here. So I'm going to open this box, let you have a look at it. I'm going to be seeing it for the first time myself, and I'll just give you my first impressions. So this is how the box is presented, with Vesuviate's logo. From what I know, Vesuviate take their name from the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which is famous for swallowing up the city of Pompeii. And this logo is meant to represent the big fireball from the explosion of the volcano. So let's have a look inside. Okay, well, that's my guarantee card. And it's actually on a metal plate, which is quite nice. And inside here, I actually forgot it comes like this. It comes presented in a watch roll, a little travel case. So let's have a look. Okay, that's very nice. So a very nice leather travel case that this comes presented in. And I actually like it when watches are presented in this way, rather than some great big box that just ends up taking up lots of space in the back of a cupboard. Let's have a look inside. Oh wow. There it is. Okay, I am a fan already. Okay, so the main reason I wanted one of these watches is because of the old style TV dial of the watch case. I don't really have one like that in my collection, so that's what appealed to me with this. And I have to say, I'm glad I did go for it, because first impressions here is it looks really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to take this plastic wrapping off. I'm going to size it up for my wrist, and I'll talk a bit about this watch. See you shortly. Okay, and here's the watch. Sized up for my wrist, wound up, and she is running nicely. So let's take a closer look at this one. So the first thing that stands out is this gorgeous dial with a sunray effect. They call this colour the Bordeaux red, and it is like a glass of red wine, the way it plays with the light. They do have a number of other colour variations. I'll put a picture of them up on the screen. For some reason this one just jumped out the most at me, but to be honest, it's hard to choose just one because they're all very attractive looking pieces. So dimensions wise, this measures about 39mm across. Now normally I don't go below 40mm because watches tend to look quite small on my 8.5-inch wrists. However, because of the shape of this one, it tends to wear a bit bigger than it is because of the square dial rather than a circular dial. End to end, we're looking at about 46mm, and thickness is 11mm. So it's a size that should fit pretty much any wrist, really. So the dial it's nice and simple. We have these applied indices at the 5-minute markers. The hands look very smart in my opinion. We have the Vesuviate logo at the top here and the model, which is Attivo, down here. Automatic movement, and it has a water resistance of 100 meters. So this would be perfectly safe for going swimming or anything like that. The crystal is a domed sapphire crystal, and they do claim to have 5 layers of anti-reflective coating on the underside, which does make this very legible in all angles really, this watch. The crown also signed with that Vesuvio fireball, and the outside of the case is all very nicely polished. Now, the movement in here is a Miyota 9015, and it's the new version of Miyota's movement, which is a gilt version, which we can see through the exhibition case back here. And it's nice to see Vesuviate also sign the rotor as well. Always think it's a nice touch when brands do that. So if you're not familiar with the 9015 movement, it is hacking and it runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour and has a power reserve typically of around 42 hours. I do own a couple of other watches with this movement in it, and they do run pretty well, ranging between 5 to 7 seconds gained per day on my other watches, so I expect this one will run pretty similar to them. Just to mention as well, the crown is a screw down crown. And winding the movement does feel very nice and smooth. Now, this might be something that puts a lot of people off, is the end links for the bracelet. We see here, you're not really going to be able to put on many other straps on this. In fact, Vesuviate did offer some alternative straps for these watches, but looking at their website, they're all sold out at the moment. However, I really do like this bracelet. My first impressions, having worn it for a short while on the wrist, is very comfortable. Adjusting it did take a bit of effort. These are pins that are holding the links together, but they are very, very fine tolerances because they really are wedged in there, and it did take a bit of effort to get the pins out. So yeah, you only have to do that job once, and now that they're in position again, I'm very confident this is going to remain very secure indeed. There's no chance of those pins slipping out. And we do have a butterfly clasp down here, which also has a nice patterned effect on it. And when it's closed up, we do have the Vesuviate logo again on the clasp. And as I mentioned before, we do have this exhibition case back, and this has more of a brushed finish to it as opposed to the polished edges of the case. And that polished finish runs down the center of the bracelet as well, and we see these outer links have a brushed finish to them. Overall, I think this is a very attractive watch. It has a retro vibe to it, kind of like a 70s style watch, and I do like that. Okay, so here is how it looks on the wrist. And bear in mind, I did take out 2 links as well, and I have an 8.5-inch wrist, so you do get plenty of bracelet for larger wrists. And as a bonus, the watch does feature my favourite lume type, which is the BGW9 Super Luminova, mainly because I like the day colour of the white and this nice blue in the dark. Very nice. Okay, so that's the Vesuviate Attivo. Very happy to finally own one of these watches. I'll leave a link in the description to their website and the promotional code that they're currently offering, 50% off their normal price of $850. So it's a Black Friday deal, so I'm not sure how much longer that's going to be valid. So I suggest if you are interested, you make that decision very quickly before it goes back up to full price. Anyway, I'm off to wear this watch and enjoy it a lot more, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.